Welcome to What Was She Thinking, the podcast where we watch movies a little deeper. We talk about their stories, choices, culture, and the moments that make you pause and ask, what was she thinking?
And that means in this show, we are asking the character, the director, and even ourselves to consider how thoughts prompt our actions and ultimately one's experiences in life. In today's film, we are reviewing Sinners with Ryan Coogler, directed by Ryan Coogler, starring Michael B. Jordan as Smoke and Stack, Delroy Lindo as Delta Slim. Sorry, I might get her name. Is it Unami Musaku as Annie? Miles Canton as Sammy or Preacher Boy. Omar Benson Miller as Cornbread. After all of these years, I never knew that man's name was Omar. And Haley Stanfield as Mary. This is not just a movie recap. This is a conversation about mindset, motivation, and the choices that shape women's lives. Hello, everybody. I am Charla.
And I am Kim, and welcome to What Was She Thinking?
Welcome. All right, Kimber. What did you think? First thoughts on Sinners. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What were your thoughts?
Actually, absolutely loved it. Period, point blank. Made it a mission to go see it in theaters. And have seen it multiple times since then. It's a movie that stayed with me. It's a movie that I thought that how it was produced and directed touched me. It was really impactful to me as to how Ryan Coogler just directed this film. I enjoyed it. So yeah.
I too was I'm gonna be honest, I did not understand it at first. It's taken me a couple of watches for me to
Really?
Yeah, because I'm like a story where it's got elements that take me out of the story. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about it, but I like cohesiveness, I guess.
Okay.
And when there's a part where you jump out of the story to make another point, if I gotta think about it, like, why are we doing this? I mean, in such a way, it kind of takes me out of the story, and now I have to jump back in. So there were parts when it did that where I was like, why are we doing this? But after probably about the third or fourth watch, I was like, okay, I think I understand. So I have a different appreciation for it now. Yeah.
I think I don't know. I don't know if I heard this after the movie, after I saw the movie, or before I saw the movie. But in the preparation for getting the movie done, and in the history behind getting the movie done, it was something I remember someone saying, and I love when Ryan Coogler does this. He inserts actual history, actual events that happened during this time frame into the film. And so there were certain things that were happening around that time that were true events, factual events that he kind of wove into the story. And that is what kind of made it, for me, kind of make it flow, because during this time this was happening, and then also he was pulling in those historical pieces of our history. He was pulling that down as well. And
Yeah.
not just historical pieces from us as far as African Americans, but from other cultures as well. As we get into the movie, we kind of see how other people's historical culture and traditions and history was kind of woven into it, and how it was kind of, we all kind of intersected at a point where our history aligned.
Yeah, like with the
Parallel.
Irish because I was like,
Yes.
he's making
Yes.
this
Yeah.
Irish, and
Yeah.
again, it's very I guess cerebral.
Yeah. Wow. I love it. I love
Very cerebral. You really
I love movies that are cerebral.
Yeah.
That, elevate the culture, honey. I
Yeah,
love
elevated
that.
culture. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah. And if I can get a YN to go in to see sinners and come out impacted, then I felt I've done something.
Yeah, that's good. Cause yeah, I've exposed you. You didn't read a
I've
book, but
exposed
I've exposed you to,
yeah.
to the history.
And
Yeah,
teacher Emmy. I mean, come on. If I can't, you know,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
you're
It
gonna
was
learn something. You're gonna learn
yeah,
today.
yeah, maybe yeah, I can see that. So, and maybe because I'm older, so I know
Hmm.
not that I know all the history, but I
Hmm.
know a good
Yeah.
portion of
Hmm.
this happened, whatever.
Hmm.
So I guess I am too at a point where the stories that reiterate that I'm kind of
Yeah.
like, okay, I already know that. What else you
Yeah.
gonna give
Yeah.
me or whatever?
Yeah.
But you're right. There's a whole segment of population who's not aware of all of the atrocities, and this story is like an introduction or whatever. So, okay, I get
And
that.
listen, okay, so both of us are in academia. Both of us come from education. We were both teachers, um,
Hmm.
and are still teachers. And I was having a conversation about this the other day when we talk about the collectively. I was talking with someone, one of my colleagues, about the dumbing down of America
Hmm.
and who tells our story. So who is going to actually educate the next generation and the next group of people? Like, we had people in our lives that wouldn't have, that it was demanded that we knew the history. It was demanded that we knew what brought us to this point, and we paid homage to those who paved the way for us. But
Hmm.
this newer generation, there's a disconnect
Hmm.
between the ancestors or those who paved the way to be in this space, in this place. There's a disconnect. It's like no one is telling our story, and no one
Mhm,
is educating these children to where um, they know that they stand on a solid foundation.
mhm,
Um, and so anytime that there's something that kind of slides it in, I'm all for it, because
mhm,
when I tell my students, like, listen, once you got it, no one can ever take it away from you.
mhm,
But you got to get it, and you got to want to get the information and the
yeah,
knowledge, because you're going to be the ones out there educating the new generation. You
mhm,
know, um, and I think for some way down the line, it was a disconnect. We kind of got
mhm,
out of something happened. I don't know what happened, but I got some thoughts on that too, but something happened, and there's a disconnect. And so the question was, who's going to tell our story? We
mhm,
have people like Ryan Coogler, storytellers. Who's going to tell our story and get it
mhm,
out there in a meaningful way that doesn't depict us as slaves and always in oppression?
mhm. Yeah, because let's go
Yeah,
on to
it's getting deep. I'm sorry.
yeah, you fine. But that's a good segue because it doesn't start with slavery.
Hmm.
But as we start Act 1, we are it says we are in Clarksdale, Mississippi, so we in the dirty dirty.
Hmm.
1932, we know that. We know we still in Jim Crow era.
Deep down.
Yeah, deep down. Um, where okay, they start with the cold open. So
Yeah.
first they start with the cold open. Sammy arrives at his father's church with his piece of broke off guitar, only that only the handle.
Didn't even know he was fighting for his life, honey. Mm-mm.
And the father tells him to let the guitar go, and
Mhm,
he does not, which is symbolic, right, of what
mhm,
is going to happen in the story.
mhm.
But then we move right next to one day earlier. So we start Act 1, and Sammy is coming out of the cotton fields because this is definitely an era where sharecropping
Yes.
is prevalent in the African American community in the South.
Mhm,
And so I know my mama, my grandfather, her daddy was a sharecropper, and that's how they made their money. And it
mhm,
was, I know she always said it was basically slavery, but it was because you were always like in debt. You were never able to kind of break free.
Mhm.
So it was just a different form of like servitude,
Yeah.
basically.
Mhm.
So
And
it
same here.
is
My granddad, sharecropper,
sharecropper.
farmer,
Mhm.
you know.
Always in debt, always like owing, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, and I don't think we've seen much of the sharecropping story or
Mhm.
whatever, which he
Mhm.
doesn't get into, but we know it. We
Yeah,
we
yeah.
know, we know what's going on here.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, yeah, he doesn't start with slavery, which is good. So it's a different take, but he does
Yeah.
start with
Mhm.
sharecropping. And then, and Sammy's coming out of the field. He goes to get cleaned up, and he is like, "I'm going out."
Yeah.
Basically, later on, and then are introduced to Smoke and Stack waiting, or they're waiting on a white man outside of
Mhm.
the slaughterhouse,
Yeah.
which will be turned into the juke joint.
You
So
join.
we've introduced the three main characters, pretty much Smokestack and Preacher Boy or
Yeah.
Sammy,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
We are
Sure.
in,
For
and we
sure.
like them, right? We
And
like,
we like, oh,
um,
do we like them? I
love
mean,
Smokestack.
huh? Listen, the distinction, listen, when Smoke and Stack first comes on the scene, um, it it was a difference. We all know, everyone knows that there's not two Michael B. Jordans. He's playing
Mhm,
both characters, but
mhm.
there was a clear distinction
Between the two, yeah, yeah.
between the two initially, right off the cuff. Their mannerisms were similar but distinct.
He's so good.
Yeah, their colors were similar but distinct.
Right. I had to write them down to get them confused.
Yeah.
Smoke is blue and Stack
Mhm.
is red. Right. So and blue and red, right? One is probably hot and one is a little cool
Right.
head.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I figured that was what it was.
And they're talking, similar but distinct. You could tell who was who as they were talking. And the famous line when he was like, "So, the white man is like, da da da, whatever, whatever," and he was like, "So y'all brothers or whatever?" Talking, no, we could. I'm like, dude,
They look alike.
they're identical, like literally the same person.
But it does give a sense of them playing like with the white man. Like, come
Yeah.
on, if
Mhm.
you gonna play dumb, then I'm gonna play
Don't play
dumb.
dumb. No, because and it's look that and just that element of confidence and just smooth. Like,
Hmm.
look, Michael B. Jordan, that's a smooth brother.
Yeah,
I don't
he is.
care what nobody say.
He
That
is
he
smooth.
brings a level of, even in his most down and crucial moments when he's acting on film, he just brings a level of smoothness. Like, you can't be that you can't be that cool all the time. And it's very
Mhm.
reminiscent to me to Denzel. Because
Yeah.
Denzel
I can
is
see that.
always smooth to me.
Uh-huh. I can see
Like,
that.
just a
Yeah.
level of smoothness to him.
Yeah.
And to me, he gives that air of just smooth. And I was just so impressed. Like, so immediately when I see them, I'm like, I'm in it.
Mhm.
I'm locked in.
Mhm.
Now I'm
Mhm.
locked in for sure.
Mhm.
And that's like the first few minutes of the movie.
Yeah, because they dress nicely.
Oh my gosh.
They not sharecropper. They the
No, no,
exact
no.
opposite of what we just saw when Sammy was coming out of the fields. The lady, his mama, is washing clothes in the
Mhm.
tub.
Mhm.
He ain't even he washing, cleaning himself up with laundry dirty water. Mama like, don't put that soap on you.
I gotta get clean. I'm going out. Okay.
Just a little right, just a little sprinkle. Just
Yeah,
a
little
little
sprinkle,
sprinkle.
little sprinkle, sprinkle. They had a car.
They had a car, and I think it's also important to note that here they are doing business with a white man, and they not, yes sir, they're
Yeah.
not
Mhm.
giving that
Mhm.
inferior
No.
they're not giving that at all, which
Mm.
is, I guess, a part of their confidence, but maybe
Mhm.
I don't know because they've been to the big city.
Mhm.
They're not the typical whatever Southern black man that's
Yeah.
bowing down.
Mm-mm.
So we like that confidence. They
Yeah.
smooth, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They got a business plan going on.
They paying cash,
They
honey.
got dollars.
We
Yeah,
got dollars,
we like still.
you
We
know,
impressed. Yeah. Uh-huh.
you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Okay.
Yeah.
So then Sammy goes to see his dad, and I thought it was interesting that he had some recite the passage about temptation.
Mhm.
Um, and then he's picked up by Smoking Stack from church, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And we get introduced to their kind of relationship. Um, and then he takes him to the stash, right? So
Mhm.
we do have this sense of like people sinning all over the place. I feel
Yeah.
like that was a like a sense of like stealing, I guess
Mhm.
doing the devil's music or
Mhm.
whatever.
Mhm.
Like I guess I feel like Ryan Coogler is like introducing us to this world of
Mhm.
they supposed to be sinners, but really they're not like murderers or whatever. So
Mhm.
it's like, it seems everybody do every day kind
Yeah,
of thing.
they have bucked the system. Because okay, like 1932, the sharecropping, there's still the um thought process of the African Americans. Listen, we're gonna do this
Hmm.
to get our little bit to get. We're gonna still stay in the line. We're still gonna walk the path to
Right. Yeah.
not upset the white man. And
Right.
see, Smoke and Stack were the complete opposite of that, because just like um Sammy had dreams of more,
This is
right?
true. Hmm.
And Smoke and Stack dreams were different, but they never gave sharecropper. They
No.
never
No.
gave
You're right.
a
Yeah.
I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna toe the line and I'm
Mhm.
gonna just run this juke joint or whatever. They never gave that. They
Right.
always gave that. No, I'm not doing it. I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Hmm.
And that could be a form of disrespect, because at that time you did what your mom and daddy told you, did what mom and Paul told you to do.
Or the community.
Of the community as a whole, because the community raised and held responsibility and accountability to its own, right? And they kind of
Mhm.
bucked that. And Sammy had dreams of his own musically, and I mean, why does all different music that's not hymns or gospel? Why
Mhm.
is that the work of the devil? You
Mhm.
know, so even the system of our thought processes from back then, because you know how it is, and we've had this conversation before too. Traditionally, you did what your parents told you to do,
Mhm.
and then if you stepped outside of the bounds, then it was like, it's seen as disrespectful. What are you
Mhm.
doing? You're going against the grain. You don't get to go against the grain. And so,
Mhm.
yeah.
I was thinking about this the other day in like because I know I've discussed like the family business for me has been like education, and I went into the family business, and then I was like I never should have gone into the family business because that. But I went into it for a whole different reasons, and that's
Right.
another story. But I don't know, like I feel like sometimes when you step outside of what people expect, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like it was not that you say that. It's interesting that nobody ever gave them the, "Oh, you think you better than us?"
Mhm. Mhm.
spiel. Like they never got that. But I know, like if you were to say, "Oh, I need," I guess because they had money. I guess why nobody would have said that. But if they were asking for money and they was dressed in suits, they was like, "You better get out here and sharecrop."
Yeah,
But
sharecropper. Mhm.
maybe that's why, because I know I can, let's say, cleaning houses or whatever is the thing. And
Mhm.
then somebody says, "Oh, like in Lovecraft Country. Remember she came home and she was like, you can go get a job cleaning houses." She was like,
Mhm.
"I ain't cleaning no houses. I'm gonna go work down at the store, sell perfume or whatever,
I
makeup."
would go down to the Nordstrom or Macy's or whatever it
Yeah.
was.
And they
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, you think you better than because you want or whatever?" And I'm like, they didn't. So you can sometimes get that from the community, like you're not falling in line and you want something more, so you think
More.
you're better than
Yeah,
us.
yeah, yeah.
They didn't interesting then they didn't, maybe they thought they was the hope leading
Mhm.
them out or whatever, but they didn't give them that tude. They gave them more respect and admiration, I
Yeah.
felt like,
Yeah. Yeah.
for
And I
sure.
think that some of that is because they came back with a car, they came back with money, they came
Okay,
back
yeah.
well dressed, they came back, and they had caused so much hell as
Mhm.
young kids because
Mhm.
they didn't conform. They
Mhm.
they bucked the system everywhere they went. That they had already had a name of someone in essence to kind of be like feared
Mhm.
or to kind of look back on because they were not conforming. They didn't conform even as teenagers. And
Mm-mm.
so, but which their demeanor was completely different from Sammy's demeanor.
Mhm.
You know, Sammy, I think if given a chance, Sammy would have listened to his dad.
Mhm. You think so? If he didn't have Smoke and Stank around?
Yeah, if not seeing the spark and seeing what he would
Oh.
have, what
Mhm.
he could do with his music,
Mhm.
he probably would have conformed. He would have been
Mhm.
okay with just string.
Yeah.
He would have been okay.
Yeah. He'd have been in the church.
Yeah,
It's true.
he probably would have been on the quartet or something. I don't know, but he might have would have been. He would have been okay with that because it would be
No.
he's doing something with the music, right?
Yeah.
With his voice,
Mhm.
right? But then he saw it. He saw that
Another life.
another life. He saw that, and he was like, "Nah, this
Yeah,
this right
yeah.
here feel a little bit too good.
Yeah.
I'm
I
a
want
pursue it.
this.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna
Yeah,
do this."
I want this. So
Mhm,
what you went and did, like so he's down. They like, we about to open up this
mhm,
juke joint
mhm,
and you gonna come with us.
mhm,
Um, so they okay, so we as we I guess close up or act one.
mhm,
Well, no, act one still got some time to go. So
yeah,
they go and split up. Smoke goes to go to Bo Chow and their whole family to get supplies and stuff,
mhm,
right? And again, like you said, he's a badass. He didn't. I thought it was interesting that he got the little girl to negotiate, like he's teaching her game, but at the same time, he putting her in danger.
mhm.
I need you to watch this truck with no
Yeah.
weapon, no nothing. I just
But
need you.
then again, the time that they were in, okay, which
Mhm,
again brings this historical context into this, fictional film, but this historical context of one side of the street. So it was the white side of the street and it was the
mhm,
black side of the street.
mhm.
Okay. And these Asian couple family owned the store on both
God,
sides of the
that's
street.
true.
Okay.
Mhm.
Let's talk
That's
about the
true.
impact of that.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. And now they would have stolen everything out of his truck
Mhm.
on the black side of the street.
Right. Mhm.
Okay. So, and him knowing that
Mhm.
was why he told the girl,
Yeah.
listen, get right in this truck. And while you sitting here on this truck, and I'm gonna put you on some game. I'm gonna pay you a little penny.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, I'll take her
I take
whatever.
that. Yeah, that's better than nothing.
Yeah, he
You
was like,
got
you
you got
know, and I'm gonna put you on some game. And so she was
Mhm.
like, oh, 50 cents. You give me some
That
big
ain't
money.
up. Yeah.
You buy me some candy. I might get
Yeah. Uh-huh.
a drink.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, he's putting her but because he knew at that time, listen, you think somebody he got a whatever he got in the back of his truck, you don't think they coming to take that? You
Yeah.
know for sure they come to take it.
Mhm. I'm gonna see what 50 cents was in 1932. That might have been the equivalent of what, $20?
Girl, listen here. That probably was a whole what did I did a cost comparison? It was like the houses were going for like
Oh, let's
four
say 10. Roughly about $10.
about
50 cents. That's a lot. She could have done a lot with $10 in
what
1932.
you could have bought groceries for days,
Never.
honey.
Right. Mhm. You're right. Uh-huh.
That was probably weeks worth of groceries she
Yeah.
bought.
Mhm. Mhm. You're right. So he gave her a lot of money because
A
if you
lot of
think,
money.
yeah, he gave her a lot. He gave her a lot of money to watch their truck for a few minutes, and then he makes deals with the Childs for a sign,
Mm-hmm.
some drink. No, not drink. It was sign and food. Was it
Mm-hmm.
food? It was
Yeah,
something.
it was signed. I think it was like some fish or something. I
Yeah.
think he was negotiating the food, but the
Oh, and then the lady comes over. Yeah,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
for the sign after he shoots somebody. So somebody does try to steal, and we see that he is by their life. But he's also fair, right? Because he
Mm-hmm.
shoots them, he maims them, but he also
Mm-hmm.
pays for them to be
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
repaired or fixed
Yeah,
or whatever,
because
healed.
he understands the time. Like he understands.
Yeah,
Listen,
this is
yeah,
weird.
I know you don't. We don't. Y'all ain't got it, so y'all gonna
Mhm.
try and take it.
Cause
But
I would too.
yeah, at the same time, it's mine. So you don't mess with it. And
Yeah,
that's why he was like, yo, I didn't know this was your
yours.
truck,
Uh,
yours. I would have
oh, you.
that little girl was like, I was watching. And I
I
told him, listen, I was
was
doing my
doing it.
job. You gonna give me my 50 cents or whatever it was, you gonna give it to me.
Yeah.
Because I was doing my job.
Mhm.
But he knew he came from that community. He knew what it was,
Mhm.
because I would have did it. I would have took from you, but you don't take from me though.
Mhm.
Like you can steal it from Joe Mo, but you ain't gonna steal
Not
it
for
from me.
me. Yeah,
No,
especially because I'm gonna fight
know.
back too.
And I'm gonna just shoot you in the knee, in the leg.
In the
You
butt.
gonna be all right. I mean, in the butt, you're gonna be all right.
Yeah, he
I'm not
got both of them.
you back there. I mean, you're gonna be all right.
But
You
he
know,
said, I can't let you go around telling people you stole from me and I ain't
I
do
let you
nothing.
go. And see, he had a rap. Them
Yeah.
boys was rebel rousers. They
You
tore
right.
that community up. They probably terrorized that community.
Yeah, because everywhere they went, everybody
Yeah,
was like, it's the
yeah.
Smoking Stack
Mm-mm,
Brothers, boy. Yeah. Hmm.
You see them?
You see
Don't even look
that?
over there. Don't even look at them.
And I had that because we in our neighborhood we had some brothers that lived down the street and we was like, don't mess with them boys.
Terrorized the community, honey. Mm-mm.
Okay, so now they rounded up folks for their juke joint night. So they
Mhm.
got music with Sammy. They've got a sign. So they working on advertisement and marketing with the Childs and some food. Yeah, and then they need well, he's not about. So he's music too. So they go see Delta Slim
Yeah.
to go get some more music, right? Because this is not just, they had to have an array of offerings for their guests and
This
music.
premier entertainment. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Delta Slim is Premier Entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I thought again, like referencing the center theme. He says, y'all don't want a center like me, which I thought was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
To come and they like, yeah. So they lure him with this new Irish beer,
Mm-hmm.
and he agrees to come. He agrees because he says, because everybody, which I've read, like I guess, like in good screenplays, is that characters must have choice, must
Mm-hmm.
have agency, and so everybody is volunteer. Nobody is like,
Mm-mm.
because everybody could say no.
Mhm.
I'm not coming tonight, but
Yeah.
everybody's like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll come
Free
there.
will.
Yeah.
Hell of a thing. Free will is a hell of a thing,
Really,
honey.
really.
Oh
And that is probably what he's
yeah.
referencing as well,
Mhm.
free will.
Mhm. Free will.
Um,
Mhm.
Sammy meets Perlene,
Mhm.
and then we see Mary again,
Mhm.
introducing more of the folks that will be there that
Mhm.
night.
Mhm.
Mary's mother has just passed, and somehow there was connection with Mary, and Mary's mother is Stack and Slim. He tries to be kind of cold to her, but we
Mhm.
could tell it's not a genuine coldness, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like,
Um,
if you don't get your rump on from go on somewhere, go on now.
white folks, live your white life. Why'd you come
Go
back
on
over here?
now. I'm trying to tell you that. Go on now. And
Go on. Yeah.
he's like, I thought you was gonna come back for me. He's like, look here now. I'm trying to tell you. Go on. Go
You don't want this
on now.
life. Yeah. And she
Go
keep
on
coming
now.
back.
Mm-mm. That thing was on her, honey.
She
Couldn't forget it. Couldn't let it go.
yeah, she like, I gotta have me some stack. And I get it, because they giving off they giving off like, ooh, the magnetism. They giving it off.
Hmm.
Um, so we see Stack and Preacher Boy, because he goes in between like Sammy and then he becomes Preacher Boy, I guess, sometimes, whatever. And they go pick him up and then they run by the chain gang. And
Hmm.
I guess it's more of like this pain. So this is like what I guess I'm seeing
Hmm.
Ryan Coogler's message of like, I feel like everybody is trying to escape some type of pain, I guess, especially during this time in the
Yeah.
1930s. Everybody is in some type of pain. Mary's in pain because of her mother passing, and she ain't where she want to be.
Hmm.
You know, Slim and Stack in some type of pain because, you know, they're black men in the South. And everybody is like oppressed in some way or whatever. So I felt like this chain gang moment was had, I don't know, some type of mentioning or referencing of what is going on, because he also tells a story about the unfairness of his friend who was lynched unfairly or whatever. So I don't know, I guess he's making, you know, that kind of reference message, a message about the time period. And then we go to Cornbread, which I remember you were like, Cornbread, you felt sorry for Cornbread because Cornbread left his pregnant wife.
Cornbread. Listen, first of all, Omar, what's his name? Omar
Hold on,
Benson Miller.
Omar.
Omar Miller. Benson
Mhm,
Miller. First of all,
mhm.
he's underrated.
It
Okay.
is. I loved him in
Um, I would love to see him more on screen. I thought that he was. Have you seen the story of Ptolemy Gray? Or I don't think that's the title of it, but it was on Apple TV with Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. He was good
Okay,
in that.
so
Uh-huh.
Omar was in that one as well. I
Mhm.
would have loved to see him more on screen in
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
because he does give a presence,
He
and
does.
he's always been like the little kooky, like kind of funny comedic person on screen. But I thought that I would love to see Omar more on screen. I thought he gave a really great performance, because what he's doing, he's doing what he needs to do to provide for his family. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, and here goes someone that comes up and says, "Look, I can give you more than what you get me
Mhm.
right now if you come with me." And
Mhm.
he his pregnant wife working beside him in
Pick a
the
cotton.
field,
Mhm.
picking
Pick
cotton. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Um, and she's like, "What? What do you say? More?
Mhm. More.
Boy,
So I can get up
you
out of
better
the field.
bye.
Yeah.
I
Bye.
see you
Yeah.
later. I
I
see
see
you
you
at
later. Yeah.
home."
Bring back the dollars.
Not even
Mhm.
knowing that's the last time you gonna see him anymore. You just sent him off. Oh, it.
Yeah, we didn't know either, but so he has collected the crew
Mm-hmm.
for the day, for the night.
Mm-hmm.
We got
Mm-hmm.
Delta Slim, we got Preacher Boy, we got Cornbread, we got everybody, the main characters who will play a part in this. And then 41 minutes and 59 seconds into the movie, we finally, and this is what threw me, right? Like, what the hell is happening? We see this random white guy running for his life in the dusk
Mm-hmm.
to this house, and he's asking for help. Let me in. And they like, who you? Where you come from? And he sees their KKK attire, and he's like, okay, let me play on
Mm-hmm.
their fear of, minorities. And these Indians are running after me, and they let him in. And they let him in. And then the Indian man comes and he says, hey, um, y'all had somebody come through here?
Don't let him in your house. Hey,
I'm trying to tell you.
you better watch.
Mhm,
You better
mhm,
watch. Hey,
mhm.
don't let him in your house. And if you let him in your house, may God be with you.
Yeah, may God be with you,
Because
because
you
I
don't
tried
even
to
know
help
what
you.
Yeah, you don't know what you just let in your house. If you did, may God be with you. Okay.
Mhm.
First of all, this man dropped.
Okay.
They made it seem like he was running, but he didn't run. That joker dropped from the sky.
Yeah, it was.
He dropped from the sky, and
Mhm.
when he ran up to the house, he was smoking.
Yeah. Are y'all not a bit concerned or why he is
Why
so
are you letting somebody in your house that's smoking? I mean, he's literally carrying a whole puff of smoke on over his whole
on
body.
his body? Yeah. Nobody got questions about that? Nobody. No.
No,
Sir,
you
why
can't
are
come
you
up in
smoking?
here. No, you
Mhm.
can't come up in here, honey. No, you're not coming up in here. I don't care what you say about KKK. I
Mhm.
don't care. You ain't coming
Mhm.
up in here.
Mhm. Yeah, that was funny. They had no questions. They was more fearful of the Indian coming than
Yes,
they was a white man with
yes,
his whole body on fire
yes,
or
for
smoking.
sure, for
Mhm.
sure. But this Joker comes in, whole body is on fire. Seem like,
Mhm.
and you let him in your house.
Man tells them he's not what he seems.
Hmm.
And she still was like, okay, I'd rather go with the white man than go with y'all.
Hmm.
And they like, okay. Dude was like, so I'm about to set, let them white people die. We about to go. You try to save them. Go ahead, we out.
I tried. I knocked on the door. I
Yeah.
told him.
I told her and she didn't want to listen. So you know what? You on your own, sis.
And this whole time, your husband is getting chomped up
Ooh.
in the
She
house.
go, yeah. Yeah. So that's how we end. I feel like Act One. Bert is bitten.
Hmm.
And now I'm because this is what I feel like happened to me in the Tyler Perry movie. Why do they get married? Like you think you're going one way and then
Hmm.
they go a whole nother way, which I like when I don't necessarily want to say it makes sense, but I don't know. I guess it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense at that time as to what was happening. I guess for me, like, why are we introducing this random white guy who's on fire? Like, I don't understand. I thought we was living a Suge Avery life. I thought we was going to the juke joint and gonna be like Color Purple. So I was taken out of the story then. Like, what is happening?
Hmm.
So that was a jump out of the story for me.
So let me tell you how. So okay, in the beginning of the movie, it starts with a little narrative about how music invokes the spirit
Yeah.
and goes to, so it goes to like a little narrative right there. So
Hmm.
okay, so let me tell you how where how I caught the transition from
Okay.
him coming out.
Hmm.
So remember they're going back, they're in the car. um Preacher Boy Sammy starts to sing
Hmm.
in the car. Okay.
Hmm.
And I don't know who was Smoke or Stack. I don't know who looked at him was like, oh my gosh.
Hmm.
Like, wow.
Hmm.
To me, I don't know, maybe wrong, but that was the calling. That was how
Hmm.
the vampire, what was his name?
Remick.
Remick. That was
Hmm.
how Remick was pulled
Pulled into
to that,
the uh
because those
okay.
white people were all part of the same community, right?
Mhm, mhm.
And that's how he was able to figure out what the plan was, because the plan was never just to have them buy the juke joint.
Right, yeah.
The plan
Mhm,
was to, they had a whole nother plan in play.
mhm, mhm.
But I feel like Sammy's singing in the car is what called to Remick.
To come. Ah, okay,
Come.
I didn't pick that up.
And
Okay.
so that was how we got his introduction, because he just dropped. I mean, literally, I felt like it made it look like he was running, but for me, it just felt like he just
He
dropped.
dropped.
And it was in the middle of the day. It was hot. Knew he was gonna catch on fire.
Yeah.
He had to get somewhere. And he dropped into that home of those people who were also part of that KKK community that
Mhm.
already had the plan to come back and do harm.
You
And
right.
so he
Mhm.
just came in, and that was his way into
He was
getting to
yeah.
that juke joint.
Okay. I missed that. Maybe because and I forgot, we missed Annie. I forgot we skipped over
And
Annie.
yes, Annie.
Yeah.
Now,
Um
I will say that
mhm,
that exchange between Smoke
Smoke.
and Annie.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, fell in love with Wumi. What's
I don't know. Inumi? Is it Inumi?
Wanumi? Fell in love with
Mm-hmm.
her. Lovecraft Country.
Yeah, she's so pretty.
And then I fell in love with her. She did
Yeah,
Love too.
yeah, I
Love,
went back and watched some of Love, and I was like, "Oh, that's the girl from
yeah,
Sinners,"
yeah,
and she still have like, I'm like, she was getting their groove on in that one too, and I
yeah,
was like, "Dang, do they always throw her in a?"
yeah. Listen, but listen here. I mean, I know it's 1932, but I mean, I feel like I loved the connection. I mean, you could tell it was a connection. I
Yeah, they
like
got
that
chemistry.
That Michael B could share their chemistry with both Haley, Mary,
Mhm,
and Annie.
mhm.
Two different, I mean,
Yeah,
distinct,
you're right, because it's like they two different people, but I didn't think about it like that. You're right.
but their
Mhm,
connection and chemistry was on point for both of them, right?
mhm, mhm,
And in the history she has, she lives a very quiet life, a
mhm.
very, listen, I'm gonna do these medicinal herbs,
Well, yeah, kinda.
herbs,
Yeah.
heal y'all, I'm gonna be in this very small part of the town.
Mhm,
We gonna change. We don't got no money, but we got some nickels and caps and
mhm.
wooden nickels and stuff like that. So we gonna barter and trade
Yeah, part, uh-huh.
so that you can get what you need.
Mhm.
But for them to have their connection the way they did, because he was like, I don't know, however long they were gone, and he was like, "But your body still remembers me." I was like, "Remember me, Michael B. Remember me.
You're right.
Remember me." Oh God. Do not mean to objectify him, but come on.
Yeah,
Um,
cause she moved up real quick.
listen here. I go good. I want to say,
She ain't
slide
resist.
them to the side, honey. Slide them to the side.
Push them over. Just push,
Come on.
push them over. And come on through, Lou.
It's too long.
You can get it, Mike. She was like,
It's
you
been
can
a
get
minute. It's been a minute. I don't
it.
know if it's been.
I'm still here for you, boo.
Listen
Yeah,
here. I
yeah.
mean, since
You had
I don't
that.
know if it's been as long as it's been since the baby died. I'm not sure, but come on, come through, because okay.
Yeah, it's all here for you, boo. I mean, yeah.
To the side, to the
Yeah,
side. But I mean, their chemistry was right on.
it was.
Um, I felt that he did the great. I felt he did the great thing of um between Haley and Annie, or between Mary and Annie. Their chemistry was spot on. Like, it was
Mhm,
distinct. It was different
mhm,
for both brothers.
mhm,
The connection to the female person for them.
mhm. It was.
Um,
Mhm. And
but
now
and
that
I
I
love,
think
yeah.
about it, so she like you said, she does like potions, and
Mhm,
she made a like protective pouch for him.
mhm,
So I think I'm just coming to this realization that she is representative of the other side of religion, like those who don't maybe necessarily adhere to a specific religion like Christianity, but
mhm,
believe in a higher, submit
mhm.
to a higher power. And
Yeah.
she is that kind of, um, I think, a nod to that reference
Mhm,
to a higher power for
mhm.
sure. Okay.
Because I mean, religion for our community is not a monolith. So
Hmm.
it's some we hodgepodge some things of
I
what
for sure do. Hmm.
what we believe in and what we stand for. As far as, I mean, it's in no shade, no tea, but it is, we may sage our house,
Hmm.
and then go to church on Sunday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mhm.
Or, we may, what it is, collard greens at New Year's.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
those traditions, oral
Mhm.
traditions, and historical traditions that we still take part in. Um, that is what shapes our connection to a higher power, to the higher power,
Mhm.
right? It's not a monolith. It's not just, we just pray and that's it. It's a
Mhm.
collection of things.
It's a collection of things, but also kind of what Annie could be doing could be seen as sacrilegious to
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
probably like Preacher Boy's father. He would
Mhm.
never probably participate in some of
Yeah.
those things that she knows about or whatever, which ends up being beneficial for them in the long run. But I like that nod to, okay, these two different spiritual
Yeah.
worlds or whatever.
Mhm.
And even Stack though, I mean, even Smoke is kind of like in disbelief of it though, right? Because
Mhm.
he's
Yeah.
still, even though it's not religion, he's still like, okay, well, I'm safe. Your pouch saved me, but
Mhm.
it didn't save our child. So there
Mhm.
is like this disbelief in the world of this spirits being able to
Spirit. Yeah.
protect
Mhm.
them,
Mhm.
which I guess is kind of like what um Sammy's father is saying.
Yeah. And there's a need in the community for both pieces, right?
Mhm,
There's a
mhm.
need in the community for both pieces because you know, Smoke is like it's Smoke, right? With
Yeah,
Annie. Smoke
Annie,
is like he's like, come on, you can leave from over here. And she was like, no, I'm here to provide for the community here, you
mhm,
know, to provide these herbs and potions and, um natural medicinal items,
mhm,
um and my thing is, God is the creator of all, right?
mhm,
So if he created it all and he created these herbs and things, once you put them together they can have healing properties,
mhm,
and she's doing that
mhm.
for the community of people who can't probably traditionally afford to go to a hospital or things like that. Because he's
Right.
like, you taking all these wooden nickels and paying you with caps and stuff. Come on, let's go. Come on from out of here. And she's like, nah, I ain't
Yeah.
going nowhere. These is my people, and I'm here to help my people. And so to see how both of them can be in the same space and
Mhm,
provide service to the community,
mhm.
think was kudos to him for being able to show that
Yeah, the different sides.
the different
Right,
side.
because it would have been traditionally, yeah, like with Color Purple, we've only seen maybe one side
Yeah,
reference, like, yeah,
yeah.
that religious side, but
Mhm.
maybe some more. I can't think of another one right now. But she does, I think, speak to that other side of spirituality.
Mhm.
So, okay, now and then that's when we are introduced to Remick, the vampire, and he converts two other people. That's interesting, converts. Like a religious conversion. Like he
Yeah.
converts
Mhm.
yeah, he converts two other people. And now we are in act 2 where everybody is headed to the juke joint for the night. I was like, the child's in there, they like their cigarette. They like, because I'm like, this is like any other. I'm going out for the night. I'm about to have me a
Yeah.
good time. Tomorrow we probably gonna wake up late and think about what a good time we had Saturday at the
We
juke
had a
joint.
good time at the club, honey. Listen here, we had premium music. We was dancing, honey. And listen, back then,
Irish beer.
I was yeah, honey. We was getting drunk up, honey. Listen, and this is the thing. Back then, when they went to the club, they went to the club, honey.
Yeah, they was
They
dressed, ain't it?
sweated.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, they looked pristine. They
Mhm,
looked good. And they
mhm.
sweated and danced all night long, honey.
Not back up against the wall.
Back against the wall, honey. And they was loving the music, and you had the fashions and you had the food.
Mhm.
You can't even go to no club now and get you no plate for free
No, not you definitely should went out with no wood nickels.
and a little drink. No, 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 no. And they show for sure enough ain't frying up no catfish.
No, they you get chicken wings now.
Yeah, chicken wings. Ain't making you ain't getting no pot of rice.
Mhm.
A little vegetable. Honey. They
Yeah,
was eating good. They was looking good. They was smelling good. They was dancing. They had premier entertainment.
yeah.
What? How can you can't get that kind of fun for two wood nickels?
No, yeah, Smoke and Stack was the premier event promoters. They was in the 1930s when they set it up.
Promote parties,
They
honey.
was promoting parties today. I mean, it was a good business idea.
Yeah.
People want to have a good time and relax,
Mhm,
and we'll
mhm,
provide a place for them.
mhm.
And like, because that's where Delta Slim was. He was
Yeah.
music for another place or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
he was like, hey, I've been doing this for what, 20, 30 years at this
Yeah.
place. So they
Mm-hmm.
were like, hey, we'll tap into this market. So it was
Yeah.
not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Um, and then everybody's having a good time at the juke joint. Mary arrives. Perline comes, and Perline is a whole, like Mary is a whole married woman.
Oh man, look here. Now I will say back then, during them times, honey, a little step out.
She did not bring the husband. She did not bring the husband. She must have told him, I'll be back.
How you going to the juke joint and your husband ain't coming with you? But back then, it was a little, you could a little sidestep a little bit,
Then, because I was like, she must not have been happy, like Mary, because
Yeah,
Mary was married too. So I was
yeah,
like, these two women are obviously not happy in their marriage or something. Because why are you stepping out without your husband? To why are they allowing, or why did they say, not? I don't know. It gave something's not right at home for
yeah,
y'all to be
yeah,
lusting, because they were both lusting. Pearline clearly likes Preacher Boy,
yes,
and Mary like I get them stack or smoke, one of them or
yeah.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And again, they're sinning, right? Because they're
Mm-hmm.
married women going after these men. So he's like, I still kind of putting in these little things of like sinners or whatever, I think. And then again, this is what took me out, because they get to the point where Preacher Boy sings, and then he's conjuring up, which I remember because I remember the first time I watched this, I was like cleaning or cooking, and you was like, you didn't see all them people. I was like, Kim, I ain't see all them people come up out the air.
I was watching, and it was like when he started to sing, and I started seeing like how Ryan Coogler transformed and just invoked a spirit, honey, as it
Mhm.
moved through that joint. I was like,
And then you would like,
am I seeing what I'm seeing?
and then you were like, it's historically, like he's also pulling in the influence of African American culture as well. So he's being very, I guess, methodical. Like it's a point,
Listen,
but it does bring me out of the story again. It brings me out of the story. It does, because I'm not in the story. I'm seeing all of these. You got
oh
the bass
man,
music, you got the trap music going on in there.
oh man, it pulled me in, and I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, so okay, I'm gonna tell you this. So back when whatever your favorite CD is, when you put that CD on and it takes you to a place that
Mhm.
invokes some type of emotion or spirit, or music has always been, and I think that's what he was trying to say, but music and dance and has always been that kind of thing that invokes a emotional response, right?
Mhm.
Through the ages, right?
Mhm.
Um and when Sammy started to sing and play, and you see all this happening and how it comes from the Africa tribes and traditional music all the way to trap music. I mean, he even had geishas in there. He
He
had
did.
ballet in there. I mean,
Mhm.
he had everything. He invoked everything, and
He
it was
did.
like when in literal, not in literal or not literal, he said that, we only to the roof is on fire. He literally set the thing on fire because his
Mhm.
voice invoked such a calling.
Mhm.
um and it was over all cultures,
Mhm.
all of them, not just ours, everybody's. His
Mhm. It
voice was
did.
that much that
Mhm.
it called to them all,
Mhm.
and was like, this something's happening in this place right now.
Mhm.
And I felt that when I watched it the first time, and I felt every time that I've watched it since the first time, and I see another person popped out of that piece.
Mhm. It
I'm
touched
like,
you.
oh my gosh.
No,
Like,
it brought me out of the story. Like,
okay, what are we doing here?
what are we doing? When we gonna get back to the story? I get what you're doing, sir. It did. It took me out of the story. It just did. It took me out
And
of the
I remember sitting in the theater and my hands were doing this. Because
Mhm.
I was feeling it, and I was like,
African drum in there. Yeah, it was. I mean, it's a
I mean,
nice
it was,
visual. It's a nice
yeah,
visual.
the visual
Mhm.
was pristine to me, and
Yeah.
it just really it invoked something within me, and I was like, golly, you know,
Mhm. Yeah.
but
Mhm.
it didn't take me out of the story. That part was very powerful to me.
Mhm.
And I remember talking to other people about it after I saw it. I was like, man, that piece, that scene was so powerful to me because it really like it invoked something emotionally within me. I mean, I wasn't crying or anything like that, but I felt it physically and
Mhm.
emotionally.
Mhm.
Um, but to see you like,
Mm-mm. No, I got it.
does it have to be that long? Drums right there, them some trap drums.
Look, another culture. Okay, there
What
go
if he
again.
got what? I mean, he had the B boys and B girls up there, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was a good scene. Listen, the people was partying, honey.
They were having a good time, and I guess I just wanted to stay in that moment of them partying or whatever. But that was his time to reference the influence
Mm-hmm.
or whatever through the ages. So
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
you know, all right, you know,
And
but I
that
love it.
we laid the foundation for every influence. I mean,
Mhm.
and I think it does also talks about the parallel, the alignment of many
Mhm.
of our cultures where we are different, but in many instances we do share a lot of similarities,
Mhm.
you know, and sometimes we focus on the differences, but listen, we still invoking the spirit, honey.
Mhm.
And to be honest, that could be a spiritual experience as well happening,
Mhm. Right.
you
Yeah,
know,
it can. Yeah,
going
because it
through,
can.
you know.
Yeah,
And
definitely. Mhm.
and go back to what Sammy's father, you know, you sang for the church. He knew the power in that boy's voice. He knew the
Yeah.
power in that boy's voice and hands
Mhm.
of invoking the spirit. I mean, I'm sure he probably felt it too. Every time that boy sung, it invoked something that called out to the heavens, honey.
And I get that because I guess when I think of like the song speaking to your spirit, I feel like being moved. But I guess this notion of like conjuring up other spirits that come from other places
Mhm.
was just the concept I never kind of entertained.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, I can see like calling in the ancestors, but just this, I guess, calling up evil spirits is just what
Mhm.
I didn't which was kind of off-putting, I guess. Like, why is your beautiful voice conjuring up evil? And I guess that's what his preacher father was trying to say.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
gonna maybe I don't know. Maybe if he was singing gospel, it wouldn't have conjured up the vampires. I
Well,
don't know.
I think that
'Cause
it would have. I think that the fact that he had the power to conjure,
Mhm.
and where there is good, there is evil, and so if if I want to use that to conjure the evil,
Mhm.
I'm gonna try to take it. I mean, that's
Mhm.
what Satan does. He comes to steal and destroy. You know,
Mhm. Mhm.
steal, kill, and destroy. So you know, why wouldn't I want to take that and use
Mhm.
it for my what I want to do with it?
Right. Mhm.
I don't think Sammy's voice is intentional. I think it's intentionally good because he's so green. He don't know. He young.
Mhm.
He's a preacher boy. He grew up in church. He don't know. This is it. This is literally his first taste. This was, and you know, he says it later on, but this is his first taste of outside. Like this is somebody who
Mhm.
knows he ain't never been outside,
Yeah.
but this is his first time outside and
Mhm.
experiencing every piece of sin,
Right, which he does when he
every piece
goes
of sin.
Perlene, he get with Perlene because one of them smoker stack put him on to what he can do to pleasure a woman, and he says he gonna try it out that night with Perlene.
Every piece of it.
He does everything that night. He like I'm gonna dip my toe in all of this sin night, and so he
Every piece
does.
of it.
With a
Every
married woman, you gonna have sex with sex
and he
before marriage.
was young. He's
Yeah,
young.
I mean, yeah, And it would
she
be a
was wrong.
great night. It would
Yeah,
be a
she
great
was.
night all
Yeah,
through
she
the
was wrong for that anyway because that boy was young.
She might have been young too, because you know how they used to get married young.
Yeah, they did. They
I
did
don't know.
get married, but
But
she was wrong for that.
she was wrong because
I
you a
mean,
whole
she
married
was.
woman.
Listen, the way that girl was winding up on that floor, honey, married where? Married to who?
Like, ain't nobody gonna be telling your husband later. She like, I don't care.
Mm,
Yeah. Mhm.
let me go ahead. And then, which I when they put, of course, they got dresses on. They looking out of sight, got the little heels on, the looking hair just put together. But when they get up there and started moving and grinding, and she pull that skirt up a little bit. Let me get on down in a little low with you. My God, where is your morals?
Gone. Going out the window. They was gone her. She was like, I'm in here to have a good time tonight, boo. I'm here to have a good time tonight, honey. Yeah. That was what she did. Yeah. So, okay.
Honey.
They having a good time. And then I thought this was an interesting visual that the vampire Remick looks on. Then they have a scene where Remick is looking at them, but it's like the whole frame is gone. It's all on fire. And I'm like, is this his like visual of what he sees? This is foreshadowing. I don't know, but I thought that was an interesting visual of them all dancing and partying and getting down. And Remick sees it like completely like different. He is coming for them. So 1 hour into the movie, Remick arrives. I'm like, dang, it's an hour later. Him and Joan and Bert arrive and they want to play blues. And they tell them no, they don't let them in. And Mary then convinces what is it? I always get I don't have it. Stack. Mary convinces Stack, she wants to be so helpful for some reason. Let me go and see, because he's concerned that they ain't making enough money with these wooden nickels coming in. And so she's like, which was weird though, because why are you gonna send her out there? I just don't understand. Like I don't understand like what kind of money, how much more money with 3 people going to bring in to make the difference between the people who in there bartering with wooden nickels.
And see, this is the part that I don't know if that was it, but I feel like it was a bigger play happening with Smoke and Stack. I think that they initially came to do what they did because at the time I think it was something historically happened. It was somebody that scammed the Irish and the Italians in Chicago or something like that. And they ran off with their beer and their wine or something like that. It was something that happened. This is historically factual. And so he kind of puts that in play as Smoke and Stack being the 2 people that hustled the Irish mob and the Italian mob during that time. And that's how they got the money, and that's how they got the liquor and the wine, the beer and the wine. So when they came back to Mississippi, I don't know, I may be wrong, but I'm thinking the play was, we gonna set this juke joint up tonight. We gonna get as much money as we can off the juke joint. We may stay one more night, but we gonna get what we can get, and then we about to dip. About to get this money, we gonna dip. And so when the night goes on, everybody's partying up, but they ain't paying like they thought they was gonna pay.
Right, yeah. So
They're
like,
not paying with the real money. They're paying with the nickel money because that's what they got.
right. And they like, we can't take this.
Yeah. And so then I think the plan switches. Now, Mary, honey, my man.
Yeah, she was
Back
like,
home with her man, honey.
to help you. Let me get this for you.
She
I'm like,
was back with her man, honey. My man. We together forever. Period. Okay. So he's telling her, look, we getting these nickels in. We ain't making the money that we supposed to make. We got to go on out here and get this money from these white people because we know they got something.
They got something. Yeah.
So for some reason, I think they've run this play before. You going on out there because I'm your people.
Yeah, that makes sense if they did it before, right?
Yeah. You going on out there because you their people. You talk to them, see what they got going on. And again, just like Cornbread, wife who sent him to die, He sends Mary out there to die.
In the dark. In the dark to go meet with 3 white people. But I guess he like, you white, so maybe you'll be safe.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
your
know.
people.
Really.
Yeah, that's your people.
And I was like, girl, he don't care nothing for you. He just sent you out there in the random.
We gonna run this lick real quick. Cause listen here, we ain't these nickels and stuff. They need to get. They getting the whole catfish dinner. They
Yeah.
get premier entertainment, and
Yeah.
they gave us 5 wood nickels. No, we ain't making no money.
Because he got a point. They're gonna come back every weekend with them wood nickels.
Yeah.
And we can't unless you plan on staying within the community, yeah, that's not gonna do you anything.
No, I think they were running. I think they were running a lick. I think they were running a scam to get as much as they could get out of that night of fun, as much money, and they were gonna hit the road and dip on out. And they probably was gonna scoop Sammy up and scoop maybe Delta Slim up and go on to the next.
Could
They were
be.
gonna run that scam,
Mhm.
but he sent Mary out there because them your peoples.
Yeah, you go out there and they'll talk to you.
They'll talk to you,
Mhm.
not knowing I'm about to send you out there to get all crunched up.
Yeah. and bring back the virus. You bringing it back here. Because that's what happens.
You open the door and let him in.
Yeah, because she goes, she gets bitten. And in the meantime, we see that Smoke tells Preacher Boy, this is your last night. For some reason, he's telling him, though, he does not want him to pursue this
Right.
past life. He wants him to do something else.
Yeah.
So Soldier Boy, I'm not Soldier Boy, look at me. Preacher Boy, Preacher Boy says, Preacher Boy says, no, I'm coming back.
Yeah.
You can't tell me. And then Smoke kind of punks him and he points a gun at him or whatever. And he's like, okay, what you gonna do? Because you ain't about this life. I know you're not about this life. Yeah.
Go
So
on over there to that black farming town. Over there about two towns over. You go on over there and make you a little life. But you're not, and I mean, again, putting them on game because you're not about this life. Like
about robbing Irish people.
Right. For you, that will hurt your soul.
Yeah.
For us,
we've been out here in these streets. That's how they survive. So I can see that. Like if they had to live a rough life, that they didn't have a family home, you got something maybe they didn't have. So stick with that. But so Mary returns after being bitten. And while Pearline is up there singing her heart out after she done got her some, Mary has
She's
like, oh, I'm ready to sing now.
All hell breaks.
I done had me a good little orgasm. I'm gonna go ahead and sing up this song.
All hell breaks loose.
All hell breaks loose. Cornbread had gone on a bathroom break. Delta Slim was watching the door for him. And then, Mary is biting Stack. Stack dies. Annie says to him, let's put him out. Because something's not right. Because Smoke shot Mary and Mary got up. So now they are aware that this is not normal. Something is really, really wrong. We are in danger. Because before then, we as the audience know they are in danger, but they are not aware. So we are ahead of them. But now at this point, we are all in the same time of like what's going to happen or whatever. Cornbread returns, and then we are aware of the rules of Vampire World. That they got to be introduced in. They have to ask. They have to be invited in. They can't just walk in, which is interesting because I never knew that. I thought they could always
listen. I knew that, honey.
You knew that?
I knew that.
You didn't know? I didn't know that.
You don't come through my door. If you just walk through my door, then I know you good peoples. But if you staying at the door just talking
and don't come
for me to invite you in, you're gonna stay right there on that other
You're
side.
not good people.
You're not come in. I'm not inviting you in nothing.
That's a good rule of thumb because I had no idea that they had it to be invited in because I feel like I don't watch a lot of vampire zombie stuff.
You gotta invite them in, girl. You let the devil in the house. You gotta invite them jokers in, honey. No. Mm-mm.
Which, okay, now that I think about it, I guess that's symbolic because because I feel like a lot of this was like fighting with yourself, with the
Mhm.
devil or whatever, and
Mhm.
you do invite trouble in,
Yeah. Mhm.
right? Trouble just
Mhm.
don't come maybe all the time jumping on you. Sometimes you are playing with it, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go mess with this dude I know I shouldn't mess with. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go this whatever. So yeah, you gotta invite
Mhm.
the trouble in. So
And that's why he was when he Rennick, why he
Rem,
was
Remick, mm-hmm.
Remick when he was standing out those white people doors on fire and trying to persuade them to let him come in because
Mm-hmm.
if they don't invite you in, you cannot walk through their threshold.
Mm-hmm. And oh yeah, so we learned that.
Hmm.
Um, and then we learned Annie has the secret with, you can prevent them or keep them away with the garlic, and we need sticks, and we need whatever else she said. But so they are now learning the rules of the vampire life and who is a vampire and who isn't. And so Cornbread returns and they realize he's been bitten. Um and Grace,
Take the
who's
trash.
married to Bo, because
Mhm.
once everything goes Stack dies, they like, let's go home or
Yeah.
whatever. So
And
Grace
all
tries,
them people out there to get chunked up.
ooh, girl, Grace tries to go. They like, Grace, don't go out there, girl. They should have let Grace ass go.
Listen here. My man, my man, my man. We
Yeah,
out
that was
here.
another one, my man. I'm going after my man. Yeah, they love their man. Ugh.
Out there just coming all smooth, all calm. When Cornbread, I felt so bad for Cornbread because I'm like, first of all, why you go so far out there to go pee? Y'all up in the country. You could
Mhm,
have went right there to the tip of that edge of that building.
mhm.
You went up in the forest.
You went up in the forest, yeah.
You heard people calling your name. You know, who is out there calling your name, Cornbread?
Yeah, that's what I would have got up. 'Cause I
That
would've-
means get your ass up and go back inside. What is you doing?
yeah. Yeah, he was
Okay,
really
Mary out, Stack's dead. Mary's dead. Runs out. Cornbread gets bitten. And then they send everybody out. So they send everybody out for safety.
mhm,
And unbeknownst to them, the people's out there chomping on and munching on them.
mhm.
And when Cornbread comes back to the door, is probably the most hilarious thing, which is why I felt he needed more screen time. But he was like, you know, he died.
Yeah.
Well, invite me in then, so I can be with him during this time of morning.
Mhm, mhm. And I thought it was interesting because he would have got me because he was gaslighting Annie. My stomach was probably tore up because you had old grease. Now
Oh,
see,
please.
that would have got me. 'Cause I'd have been like, my grease wet. Oh, I would ready to argue, ready to fight.
I ain't never fried no catfish in no old grease. Don't you dare insult me like that.
I would have took the bait. I'd have been. I would have got. I would have.
Look at and then Delta Slim was drunk. Okay, he was already a few sheets to the wind anyway. He
Yeah.
was sitting up there like, what? What
Hey,
do you mean?
he said because he was like, we need to come together. He was
Yeah,
like, how you, how we supposed to do that?
in his time of mourning. In Christian love. Because the devil would lie. The
Yeah,
devil
the
would
devil
lie.
will lie. Oh yeah, he was putting it
Okay.
on thick. Yeah. Yeah.
We need to be together for this man in this time of mourning. He was like, now wait a minute. So,
Mhm.
and then the wits about them because, you know, like you said, some people would have been like, well, boy, come on up in here. Come on up
Yeah.
in here, cornbread.
Mhm.
They're thinking, hell no, what we just seen just now. Hell no, look,
Mhm.
you ain't about to come up in the hold up.
But Annie was the one though. Annie was the one that was like,
You done been up and through here all
yeah.
day.
And you big as I don't know what. Why now all of a sudden you need permission? Yeah, she was the smart one on that because they would have been got eaten up if she wasn't like, nope.
Hell no. You stay out there. You ain't coming up in here.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that was too funny. He was like, "Well," he was like, "Well, okay, then fine. Well,
Yeah.
pay me what
Pay
you
me my
owe me."
money. Yeah. So he
Man,
tried another
I
way.
would have rolled that money up so quick. I wouldn't hand him nothing. It would
Nothing.
be rolled up in little crumples. Here, there you go. Go get your
Catch
money.
me in the morning. I
Go get
come
your
back in the morning.
money. Mhm. Go get your money. Because
Yeah.
usually the juke don't close in the morning anyway.
Right.
So
Yeah.
meet me out here, be right here in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and then I give you your money.
I give
Or
you your money.
I would just throw out the dough. I would have crumpled it up and throw it out there and say,
No.
okay, there go your money.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, cornbread.
Yeah. Cause I don't know. Yeah, he was completely acting weird. It was a subtle weirdness
Yeah.
though. So he could have easily gotten in, but
Mm-hmm.
thankfully Annie picked up on it and they followed her lead because thankfully he trusted Annie. Cause if
Mm-hmm.
not, then because if he was one of them black men that was like, I ain't listening to no woman, then they all would have been dead. But he
Mushed up.
listened to Annie. He trusted
Mushed up.
Annie.
Yeah.
And mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did. And see, that's the thing. When they present themselves as vampires, once they've turned it, it's just a subtle difference as to who they are. So they're true to who they are, but it's
Yeah.
something's a little off.
Off.
Because
Yeah.
it's like, come on, baby, come on, great. When Bo comes, come on, baby, let's go. Come on, let's go
Slickness.
on out to the door. I got the car. The car
Mm-hmm.
right here, got the truck running. Come on,
Mm-hmm.
let's go on out here. And she's like, yeah, that's my man. I'm
Yeah.
going home. I
Mm,
ain't fooling with y'all.
They like, girl, Grace, step out of it.
See what has transpired here? That ain't your husband no more. She said, well, come on, boo. Let's go. Let's go on
Yeah.
home to the baby. Come
Uh-huh.
on.
Cornbread tearing somebody up. And he like, cornbread just hungry.
Yeah. See what's happening. You're not disturbed by what's going on right now.
Nah, But she was still
My man, my man, my
my
man.
man,
That's my
yeah.
man.
She
Come
was
on.
really
I'm about to go home. I ain't sitting up in here with y'all all that long. All this
Mhm.
foolishness going on. I'm going with my boo.
And I would have been like, I'd have pushed her ass out. Go on then if you
Cause
if you
she
want
was the one anyway. Get
she
your
was
ass on up out of here. Bye.
yeah.
And you can get crunch on up there. Cause
Just like
what they had to do, what did they need to do? Stay their ass inside, close them doors up, and sit down.
And sit down and wait for the morning because that's
And
all they
wait
had to
for
do.
the
And be
morning.
quiet.
But
So
no.
because Remick comes and he tells them, I am your way out. Because this is where I was like, everybody is in pain. They are feeding on this, I think, pain. You're all in pain. After we kill you, you'll have heaven on earth. I felt like it was this theme too. I think there's like a passage in the Bible that like you have to die. Yourself has to die in order to submit to God, like I guess your ego or whatever. And I felt like they were kind of saying that kind of same thing of yourself needs to die in order to become this new person, which is us, a vampire or whatever. And they make that case. It doesn't work. And the case gets even stronger, I think, when they use Stack. Like they're very, like you said, slick and very like trying to convince you. Because even Smoke was almost out the door. When Stack came, was like, "Come on, this is the way for us together." He was, and they pulled him back. They was like, "Nah, man, don't do it, don't do it." He was about to go.
That's my brother. That's my
That
brother.
was my
That's
brother.
my twin brother. And see, when Remick, when he goes in and he tries to tell them, he gives a very good monologue about the parallels of how he came to be, as far as the struggles of the Irish community and their historical, oppressions, and African Americans. And he's like, look, and let me just hit you to some game. Like they're coming to kill you in the morning. Like they're coming to kill you. Like you want to know why those floors are so clean or whatever? Because that's the killing floor. They cleaned it up because it had nothing but blood on it of your people. Of your black people, because this is what they do.
Right? Yeah.
So when you want to come a little bit more, when you want come on to this side, because I'm telling you, they
gonna have
coming
to
for
suffer.
you. They coming for the people. Okay. I know
No.
I'm trying to hip you to the plan. Okay.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, So again, we're seeing all these hidden scams going on that's
Mhm.
happening. You know, um, that's kind of being told woven within the movie.
Mhm. And it doesn't work. All of that for Grace to mess it up. And she
That's why I
tells
should have pushed
them,
her ass right on out the door in the
"Ooh, I
beginning.
would have thrown her out. I would have thrown her out. I would have knocked her over her head when they was trying to cover her mouth and she was screaming. Oh, she would have had to get knocked out. She would have.
Hermione!
Shut up, girl.
Ain't you saying we just need to stay our ass up in here to the
Few
night?
more hours. We just have a few more hours for the sunrise. And you right here talking about come on in. And I see how they kind of juxtapose that with visions of her
Yeah.
daughter. And
Mhm,
if
mhm.
her daughter, well, you need to go. You need to go and you need to go save your daughter while the rest of
Y'all
us.
going out there and have a family of vampires. You and cause who gonna work the stove? Cause
Yeah,
y'all can't be out in the daytime, so y'all gonna lose all y'all got.
you're right about that. Yeah. So they have this big fight scene between the
Mhm,
vampires and the humans. Um, and it gets big. Perlene gets big. Delta Slim takes the L. He takes the L for everybody.
mhm,
Um, and this is where I thought this gets interesting. Smoke and Stack end up in a big fight scene or whatever, and they never show how it ends that I saw. I rewound and I was like, I don't see because it just cuts to
mhm,
Remick and Preacher Boy because he's about to get him or whatever.
mhm,
But for whatever reason, I think Smoke must have been winning. And he was going to, I think,
mhm,
stab Stack, but he didn't do it. He didn't kill him. So I don't know what happened there. I don't know if they were like just separated and he was like, I won't bite you and you won't kill me. It
mhm.
was a weird, like, I don't know. I wondered how that kind of,
Yeah. So
they
so he
agreed
so he
to
kind of says it at the end, at the end.
when he
He
says,
he
leave
says
him alone.
what happens.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And I think that they couldn't, because they had been so protective of each other, that they could not, even during that fight scene and that exchange they were having, they couldn't hurt each other. Like he
Mm-hmm.
couldn't find himself to hurt his brother that
Mm-hmm.
he had protected all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he was no longer his brother, um, he could not lose him like that in any kind of way. So um the building like burning, like Remick had saw it,
Mm-hmm.
it gets like locked up
Mm-hmm.
in a sense, right? So we don't see it and we don't see him anymore. And we're thinking that I thought that he ran out when Mary ran out. That's what I thought, because they
Mm-hmm.
ran so fast. I thought that
Mm-hmm.
he ran out when Mary ran out. So I was like, well, okay, well, he let him go. But
Yeah, that's what I was like. I can't rewind it.
wasn't
I
really
couldn't.
sure like how that
Mhm,
go until
mhm,
at the end when we kind of hear him say what happened.
mhm,
Um, but then Sammy goes out, and him having to kill Annie before she turned was the act of love and grace for
mhm,
her.
mhm.
Yeah, yeah, that was.
Yeah. So at the nick of time, in the nick of time, Smoke so he gets away from Stack some kind of way.
Mhm, mhm,
Remick is about to bite Preacher Boy, and smoke comes out of nowhere, and the stake goes through his heart at the same time that the sun is rising, and they end up breaking free. They are the two survivors of that whole night. I think. I don't think anybody else survived that I can
mhm,
remember. I think everybody either died or got bitten, something like that, or
mhm,
whatever.
mhm.
All of the ones we met in Act One, of the ones we met in Act One, those are the only two.
Gone, gone.
um, and so we end the movie with Smoke meeting the Klansmen and he takes them out. And Preacher Boy goes on to pursue his music career.
Mhm,
Um, and when he goes to the church, I thought it was interesting that they are singing This Little Light of Mine.
mhm.
I'm gonna let it shine, which I was like, guess that's what preacher boy about to do in this here world. He about to, even after all of that happened, because I was thinking the first time I watched it that after all of that happened, that he would, you know, just submit to the religious life. Yeah, but he was like, I'm still
I'm
all
still
in.
like that. Mm-mm.
I'm still gonna go ahead in these streets and live my life in this musician world. So he still does that. Um, rapping, I guess that before I go to like the last part, the cultural messages, anything else you want to add to like the third act? Because that was the third act, the ending of
Yeah,
that.
well, I thought it was interesting that they were reciting the Our Father's Prayer.
Yeah, that part too. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm. I
Yeah.
thought it was interesting because you hear it all the time. They tell you all the
Mhm.
time the devil know the Bible, the devil know he knows the word Lord's words too, and they were, I mean, he was like, come to me,
Mhm.
come join me. I know that prayer too.
Mhm.
Again, still trying to manipulate him into understanding, like, come to my side. We can say that prayer together. We can
Mhm.
say that prayer. I know the Lord too. Lord, you just killed all my friends. Just about all my
Yeah.
friends. You don't kill my cousin. You
Yeah.
have killed everybody on the best night of my whole entire life.
Yeah. It's very weird.
Yeah.
I want to know the symbolism behind. I don't know if it has something like because there are churches that they know the prayers, they know
Mhm.
all the words, but it's evil there.
It's here.
It's evil there. It's evil there.
Hell. Hell.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Um. Okay, so wrapping it up, cultural messages. I listened to a pod. I thought this is just what I just was interested in. I was listening to it because I was trying to figure out like the themes or whatever. So I was
Mhm.
listening to other people talk about it, and there was this podcast with these group of white men. I think they have like some type of religious, I can't remember, but I feel like they were all like preachers or something or whatever, and they review movies. But they had seen it and they were all white men. And I didn't listen to the entire podcast, I will say that, but I listened to the majority of it. And that scene, that ending scene where he takes out all of those white men, disturbed them. Like
Mhm.
all of the things, the cultural messages we just talked about that we hit on, the sharecropping, the influence of African American
Mhm.
culture that
Mhm.
he hits on. That was the only scene that disturbed the hell out of them. And I was like, oh, because y'all see yourselves.
Mhm.
But they deserved it because I was like, I'm
For
thinking to myself,
Did you
but
forget that they were coming there
they
to kill
killed
all of them?
like they got what they deserve. Anybody who didn't jump in that truck that day, they was fine. But y'all jumped your ass in that truck ready to take out two black men, all of y'all. So yeah. So I felt
Mhm.
like that scene where he's like asking him for a cigarette and the man is
Mhm.
pleading for their life. They felt sorry for that. I was like, obviously you don't feel sorry
Yeah,
for
of course, you're gonna feel sorry for him. But my thing was, and the simple fact, look, listen, he had the wherewithal after having to fight all night. Lord, I had to fight all night long. Had to fight all night. The wherewithal to
him.
remember what the man said. They're coming for you in the morning. They're
Mhm.
coming to kill you
And
in the morning.
and he
Like,
was
this was
ready.
a setup. They took your money and then they're coming to kill you. Okay.
He could have took off.
Yeah, he had the wherewithal to say, "Hell no, you not. I don't pay you for this building. Hell no, you not. You ain't about to kill me. But I'm gonna lay these guns out because I got plenty of them. I'm gonna lay them out and I'm gonna set my little trap
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna wait here for you
Mm-hmm. He was very
because
too much in control, I
yeah,
guess.
what do you think you're gonna do? I paid
Mhm.
you. This is my building. You think you're gonna come
Mhm.
here and try to kill me and you don't took my money? Okay,
Mhm.
I got something for you. That to me was cherries on top of the ice cream. Who the hell you think you are?
Yeah. But still referencing this notion that I'm not free, I still have to fight. Lord, all my life I got to fight. I'm still fighting. And I
Listen,
fought this.
and this is some of the black trauma that I have seen, like in other supernatural, similar to supernatural films like Lovecraft Country and oh gosh, what was the other one that was on Prime Video that was talking about the family that had integrated into this neighborhood, bought a home in a white neighborhood.
And it was supernatural?
Yeah, it was a supernatural film, and I can't remember the name of it, but
Mhm.
whatever it was, um, one of the things that I had a problem with in those films and films like that is like black people always got to fight. We got to fight the supernatural and we got to
Mhm.
damn fight the natural. We got
Mhm.
to fight the flesh and blood, and we
Mhm.
got to fight the people who just ghosts out here in the air,
Mhm.
monsters and stuff. Why the hell we got to fight so damn much? We got to fight every damn body. I don't fight all night against vampires. And you telling me now you're gonna come back and try to kill me?
I got to still fight, yeah. But that is black
Still
life
have to
though.
fight. Isn't that
That's
like Black Life?
that is
Isn't
so
that
much
Black
like
Trauma?
that.
And it made me so mad because I was like, damn, black people got to fight the supernatural and the natural. We got to fight the ghosts, the goblins, the monsters, and we got to fight the damn people too. People can't get a break nowhere.
Nowhere. But that's real life though, right? Because we are always like fighting, I think,
Yeah.
our mind, because we're fighting how we see ourselves. We're fighting how you see me when we go
Mhm.
out in
Mhm.
corporate or whatever.
Mhm.
I'm fighting how black culture, whether or not I'm staying in the community in line with the
Mhm.
community they want. So maybe that is like some type of reference to the fact that we got this extra fight going on, this inner fight, this outer fight, this all of this. It's exhausting because, and I can see why the vampires made a good point. You come on over to this side.
Yeah,
You
that's
ain't
it.
gotta fight no more.
You
You
ain't
got
got you
all
can't go outside in the daytime no more,
the
and you
fight,
got to
honey.
chop on
You
people,
lose everything.
but
You lose everything.
you ain't got to fight this no more.
Yeah, so it really ain't a good payoff, but I can see the argument that they were making. So I thought that was interesting, but I definitely felt like there was a message about pain and suffering, definitely of black people, and
Them is the movie.
them. Okay, yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Um, but what did I put down? Pain on my notes. Pain and suffering as a theme. Um, when the devil comes, what do you do? And not, I think, like our inner fights of, how can I be great? Because Smoke and Stack want to be great.
Mhm.
And fighting that, can I be great?
Mhm.
With this resistance all around me or
Yeah.
whatever. I feel like those.
Why you don't want me to be great, and what is the
Mhm,
problem with me being great?
mhm,
Why can't I be great just because the color of my skin? I can't be great.
mhm. And convincing yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like not just fighting against the person, but
Mhm.
to continue to fight for myself.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
am worth these suits
Mhm.
instead of sharecropping
Yeah,
attire or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought at the end too, of course, that Smoke was able to survive and then be able to live on
Mhm.
peacefully with his child and with Annie,
Mhm.
because he wouldn't have had that option if he was bitten.
Right.
He wouldn't have had that option. Um, he wouldn't have had that option to at least have some type of peace, because
Right.
I felt that because he protected Stack and because they lived the life that they lived, it was never a point of peace for him. And I
Mhm.
feel like Annie provided that for him in
Mhm.
that instance. She provided him with peace, and he was able to have that in the end. And I thought that was a sweet sentiment, even though I wanted him to live, but it was a sweet sentiment for him to be able to be at peace and
With
with
yeah.
his family.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I can see that because right, she was bathed in all that white. The baby was all in that white. So yeah, they are like, yeah, like,
Yeah.
now you are at peace or whatever. Unfortunately, y'all not on this side of living
Yeah.
life, but
Yeah.
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 Oh well, I mean, yeah, well, they don't have to suffer in the
Yeah.
world of Jim
Yeah.
Crow.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there was definitely a peace, but yeah, sadness.
Sadness. Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, because living the life of vampires, you're like always on the run. You always gotta find your food.
Listen,
There's no peace.
and it fit Mary and Stack better. That
Yeah,
lifestyle
yeah.
was more so for them
Mhm,
than it was for Sammy or Smoke.
mhm,
Um so the fact that they were able to get away, and just now having to rewatch it and seeing it multiple times after, to know that he was in there in the
Mhm.
barn
Mhm.
when all this was going on,
Mhm.
was like, golly, they were still together even to the end. They were still
Mhm.
together, right?
Mhm.
He couldn't come out and do that for his brother, but they were
Mhm.
still there.
Mhm.
He was still there. They were still together.
Mhm.
But and then at the end, to realize what they did for each other at the end. He was like,
Mhm.
look, Stack told me, Smoke told me, I can't do I can't come out there. I can't munch on you. Not the fact you my cousin and I love you. But my brother said I can't munch on
Yeah, I gotta wait. Can't convert him. You can't. You can't.
you. I gotta leave you alone. But I just want to let you know, because listen, kudos to Michael B. Jordan. Can't say it enough. I can't say it enough. He was so he played the hell out of both of those characters. But when he came in there, first of all, with the Coogee shirt and
Mhm.
sweat on, Lord have mercy, and the high top fade, and
Yeah.
he sat down and he was like, "Yeah, don't smell like it. Smell like it won't be too long."
Gonna be long, yeah. Not much longer now, huh?
So what you want to do? You want me to do a little munch on you? It don't look like it's gonna be too much longer. But my brother told me I couldn't munch on you.
I'm gonna respect his wishes.
I respect his
Yeah.
wishes,
Uh-huh.
but what you want to do? Because
Yeah.
you ain't
Mhm.
got too much longer here on this side of the earth.
Mhm. He like, nah, I'm good.
Nah, good.
I'm good. I'll wait it out. Your life don't. I still don't want your life.
As listen, as old as that man was, he said, once a week I still wake up.
Think about that night, right? I would too. I'd be horrified. I'd be looking over my shoulder. What is
I
that?
still wake up
Mhm.
screaming.
That was a horrific
And you
night.
talk about I want to come with you. Hell no, I won't come
Mhm.
with you.
Mm-mm.
I'm good. Let me just go ahead on and take this ride on the glory by myself. I'm
Yeah,
cool.
if that's what it is, no, thank you. Yeah, yeah.
Thank
It's
you for
not.
letting me know though that it's coming soon. I appreciate that.
I can live up the rest of these
Yeah.
days. Okay. Final thoughts. What was she thinking?
Listen here. What was Pearly? What's her name? Pearly,
Mhm.
and
Pearline.
Annie, not Annie.
Mhm.
Pearline and Mary, honey.
Mhm.
What was you thinking, honey? You had a whole husband. Where
Yeah.
is the husbands?
Yeah.
Did they
Never
just
saw.
mourn your death? What's going on? You just died?
Yeah, I got. Yeah, what was y'all thinking? Yeah, That's why I was like, they must not have had a happy home
Mm-mm.
because they was out there in the streets looking for happiness.
Listen here,
Everybody was in pain. Everybody.
my man. When Mary saw Michael, when Mary saw Stack, she was done. That was it. I'm not getting on no train. 'Cause she was at the train. That was at the train station.
Yeah.
I'm not going nowhere.
Mm-mm.
I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going
Mm-mm.
back there.
With you in eternity.
Period. My man. Because you don't send me out here to get munched on by these vampires. Pearly was like, come on here, let me munch you, Sammy. So we can be together forever. Because I'm with you. I'm with you now because you made me feel good.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, that
Got
was.
me out here singing in my green dress, honey. Singing to the heavens, honey. Because he
Mhm.
can sing. We could be a duo. You can
Mhm.
sing and I can sing too. Okay.
Yeah, we can sing on. Yeah. Yeah, I hated
Yeah.
it. She
What
got
was you thinking, honey? Where's your husband? Where the husband's at, honey?
Yeah, everybody was. There was definitely a theme. Everybody had some type of sin that
Mm-hmm.
they were.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that was in reference to or connected to pain that
Yeah.
they were feeling, and I feel like maybe that was a theme too with Black people, like how we self medicate or how we find ways to make ourselves feel better
Mm-hmm.
in all of this trauma, I guess, that we are experiencing or whatever. Though I don't think, like, if I would say what was she thinking, it would be Annie. Annie seemed to not have as much trauma.
Mm-hmm.
I liked her sense of self.
Mm-hmm.
I liked her, like she knew
Mhm.
if
Mhm.
them Hanks come bite me, don't let me turn.
'Cause
Takes
listen
me
here,
takes me
she
out.
knew, she knew, but see what I think Annie's hurt, her pain was the loss of her child.
That's right. That's right. You're right. That's
I
right.
think that was the loss of her child, was her
That's right.
pain and her
That's
hurt,
right.
because she was like, "Look here, I got somebody on the other side waiting for me, honey.
Waiting
I
for
got
me. Yeah.
somebody breastfeed my baby over here. If
Okay.
they
Maybe
come
she
for
didn't have a
me."
sin. Maybe she didn't necessarily have a sin though.
No, but I do think she had pain,
Pain. Yeah, you're right. She had
because
pain.
I think that she at one point, she was there for the community and doing what she needed to do for the community, but at some point she wanted to be with her baby.
She wanted to be with her baby, yeah.
Yeah.
So she might have been the only one as far as like a traditional sin. Like as religious wise,
Mhm.
Christianity would call her a sinner
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
she's, doing all of this
Mhm.
magic or whatever.
Mhm.
But so maybe that's what it was as far as her. But
Mhm.
she still had like, I know who I am.
Mhm.
She saved them for a moment before
Mhm.
whatever because she was so focused
Mhm.
on whatever. So
Mhm.
I really like her strong sense of
Mhm.
self.
Yeah, I do too. I do
Yeah.
too.
That was
Mhm.
good, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that was Sinners. Anything else you want to add? Yay! Before we end, anything we add, Kim, before we close?
No, just one of the best movies that I have seen in 2025. I've watched it several times since I saw it in the theater,
Mhm.
and every time I see something new, I see something more. It pulls me in a little bit more. And kudos to the performances. The acting
Mhm.
was top tier.
It was great. Everybody did a great job.
Great
Mhm.
job.
And the
Great
directing was, yeah, the shots and everything were
directing. Was
fabulous.
pristine. The music pristine. It was top 10,
Mhm.
start to finish. Production. It looked it good.
So you
It
give it
looked it
10 out
good.
of 10.
I'll give it 10 out of 10. Would recommend.
Yeah, I would give it 8.5 just because of those moments when I was pulled out of the story. Okay, maybe not. I would give because I feel like it was a great job. Yeah, he did a great job.
Yeah. Hmm.
But as far as like if it could, in comparison to the ones that emotionally, because I'm looking for some
Yeah.
emotional pull,
Hmm.
and yeah, that it didn't give me that emotional kind of
Yeah.
like I was
Hmm.
talking about, like with Room or whatever.
Yeah.
And I want to see how it compares to the other Oscar because I haven't seen those.
Contenders. Yeah.
But I do hope Brother wins. I would like him to win just because.
I would too. I think he has done, I mean, and just historically, as what he has done thus far, um, he has improved, and he has been phenomenal. Every step that he has taken. I like the moves that he's making. I like the move that Michael B is making. um I like the move. I like the way that they're moving.
Mhm.
Delroy Lindo, I mean, absolutely
Oh, I
love
love him. Always love him. Yeah.
absolutely have always loved Delroy.
Hmm.
um Absolutely. He's another one. He don't miss for me.
Never.
Generally I'm cool with him, and
Hmm.
whatever he decides he wants to do, he generally doesn't miss for me.
Hmm.
So yeah, some good acting. It was a really good movie for me. So yeah.
Yeah.
Um
I would recommend it too. It's
yeah.
just that, yeah, you know.
Yeah, I'm just so you just gonna drop from the sky, be on smoke, be smoking. Okay.
Where did this man come from? Now I got to, because
Yeah,
I was rolling to go to the juke joint.
is
We
that
go
some trap beat drum back
in the
there?
1930s.
Wait
Yeah,
a minute.
that's what had me.
That is them geishas? Mm-mm.
Where did geishas come from?
Come from? What
I
kind
thought he was in Mississippi.
of mm-mm. Golly. Is somebody back there doing on the turntables? Ryan,
When we get
listen,
turntable,
I
yeah.
got all. Listen, was that Misty Copeland up there in the middle of the floor?
Where did come from?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kim. I'm sorry. It
Oh
was.
my gosh.
I had that. That's what I was like. Cause yeah. The lady come put her leg up there in that beautiful. I'm like, why we doing contemporary lyrical in the dance floor? We was grinding. I thought we was grinding. African drum, all of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad he only did it a couple of times because after that I was like, okay, whew, done with that part. Okay.
You're pulling me out. You're pulling me out.
Pulling me out of the story, sir. Pulling
And
me.
that pulls me in. But
It
yeah,
pulls you
so
in. That pulls
yeah,
me out. It pulls you in. I guess that's
that
just
was
what it is.
funny.
Yeah. That's why we have different takes because we can see
Yeah,
how
that was funny. That was hilarious.
what's going on. Yeah. I don't like the too much what is going on when it's too far left for me. That was, but it was intentional. I get it. I feel like he definitely made a decision and a choice or whatever. So all right, Kimber, check us out.
Okay. So if this movie made you uncomfortable, inspired, or reflective, that's the point. Because growth usually starts with discomfort.
Yes. And tell us what she was thinking and what did you think after watching this if you watch Sinners. And make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And meet us back here next week for another episode of What Was She Thinking?
What was she thinking?
Thank you, Kimber.
Yeah.
All right, see you later. Bye.
Bye.